Hello, BlakeOdum here. Ending this wonderful Dr. Martin Luther King Day 2014. I would be remiss if I didn't say things about the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. As all of you know me, someone who has done the Dr. King I Have a Dream speech in different parts of the country for different people, but I just want to hit on something more relevant to today's time, and things that I'm doing with my life now in relation to how Dr. King has touched my life. One of his quotes was, "Life's most urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" In Dr. King's last speech entitled, "I've Been to the Mountaintop," he talks about a parable that Jesus gave us, that dealt with the Levite, the priest, the Good Samaritan, and then the beggar. In this story, the priest and the Levite walked by this man on the road to Jericho as they were headed to Jerusalem. And the priest and the Levite, as they passed by this man who laid on the side of the road, they asked a question to themselves as if they were afraid, if I stop to help this man, what will happen to me? So they passed by the man on the side of the road and they kept on going. And then there came the Good Samaritan, who came by, and he looked at the man on the side of the road and he said, if I do not stop to help this man, see, he reversed the question. If I do not stop to help this man, what will happen to him? Let us be a little bit more like the Good Samaritan. And I want to close by saying this, one of my most favorite quotes by the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. It simply says, one must seek to do his life's work as if God Almighty called him at this particular moment in history to do it, and he must do it with a sense of cosmic responsibility, no matter how small the job may be. He must do a little job in a big way. He must do an ordinary job in an extraordinary way. He said, if you can't be the pine at the top of the hill, then be the little shrub in the valley, but be the best little shrub on that side of the hill. Be a bush if you cannot be a tree. If you cannot be a highway, just be a trail. If you can't be the moon, simply be a star, for it isn't by the size that you win or fail, but be the best at whatever you are. So if it falls your lot to sweep streets, sweep those streets like Michelangelo painted pictures, like Shakespeare wrote poetry, and like Beethoven composed music. Whatever you find is your life's work, do it well. And don't be content with sheer mediocrity. Do it so well that the host of all of heaven and all of the earth will be able to say, here lived a man who did his job, as if God Almighty called him at this particular moment in history to do it.